Hello and welcome to this lecture, and in this lecture we will be adding an on-click listener to the recycler view itself. Now this is going to be a multi-part tutorial because it's going to be an extremely lengthy one, so I've broken this thing down into a few parts, and finally once the entire tutorial is completed, we are going to run our application and see how the recycler view actually works. So the first thing which we need to do is that in the view holder over here, we have actually done a simple mistake over here. I won't call it a mistake, but the thing is that we have assigned mview a value of item view, and then we have used item view over here. So what you can do here is that you could declare the view over here. So that's going to be view mview, and you could basically delete the view from here. And now as mview is assigned the value of item view, you could go ahead and replace mview and replace item view with mview everywhere. So I'm going to quickly make the modifications over here at first, and then we are going to proceed making the on-click listener for the recycler view. So once this thing is done, we are basically good to go. Now in order to go ahead and add an on-click listener, what we do is that we go inside the populate view holder. So if you scroll down, so if you scroll up over here, as you could see, we have the populate view holder right over here. And what you could do here is that you could add an on-click listener to the view holder over here itself. So we have a few methods for setting the title, description, image, and username, and here we set the on-click listener as well. So here what we will do is that we will type in view holder dot mview dot set on-click listener, and that's going to be new on-click listener. And once this thing is done, now we have the on-click method. So what this essentially does is that whenever you click some particular post, it's going to react to the code which is written inside over here. So now what we wish to do is that we wish to go ahead and get the position of a particular item clicked. So what you need to do now is that you need to extract the position of the particular post or the particular image on the view on which the user actually clicks. Because what we want to do here is that let me just open up the snapshot over here and show you guys what we actually want to achieve. So as you could see, this is our recycler view, and we have attached an on-click listener to the entire recycler view over here. So when a user actually clicks on a particular image or a particular post, what we want to do is that we want to open up that particular clicked post in a new activity. And hence what we wish to know here is that we wish to know the ID of the particular post on which the user actually clicked, because when the user clicks on this post, we want to open up an activity displaying this post only, and when the user actually clicks on this post, we want to open up an activity which is going to show the details of this particular post. So in order to do that, we do need to have a variable which is going to store the post key. So in populate view holder, what we are going to do is that we are going to create a new string variable which is going to be called as post key. So string post key, and that is going to be equal to get reference, and it's going to get a reference to the position. So this is going to get the position for us, and we actually want the key for that position, and then finally convert it to a string value. So now once we have this position, that is or the position on which the user actually clicks, we could go ahead build a new activity. So now what we wish to do is that we want to create a new activity, and whenever the user actually clicks this particular thing in the on click over here, what we wish to do is that we wish to start a new intent, and to this intent we want to pass in this post key information. So even before doing that, let's create a new activity and call it as, let's say, single post activity. So I'm going to go to app, let's create a new activity, empty activity, and let's call it as single insta activity. Click finish. And once this activity is created, we are good to go. So now here what we wish to do is that in the main activity over here in the on click, we wish to create a new intent. So we will type in intent, that is going to be a single insta activity equals new intent, and that is going to be main activity dot this comma single insta activity dot class. So once it is done, we are basically good to go. So now what we wish to do is that we wish to start a new activity, but even before starting the activity, we want to put some extra information into it. So we will type in single insta activity dot put extra, and let's name this extra thing as, let's say, post ID. And the post ID is actually nothing but this post key over here. So we will pass in the post key, and once we have the post key, you want to start the activity, which is nothing but the single insta activity. So once this thing is done, we are basically good to go. Now the next thing which we need to do is that we need to go into the newly created activity, which is this activity right here, and we need to design this activity, as well as we need to write in some Java code in this activity to retrieve the pass key, and depending upon that key, we need to actually go ahead and retrieve the contents, that is nothing but the image, the title, description of that particular activity. So that's it for now, and in the next lecture what we will do is that we will go ahead and design this newly created activity, which is the single insta activity. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.